And I will read a selection of poems from my new manuscript, which is currently in what I call submissions hell. It's called China Married. It's based on the life of a Chinese prostitute in Evanston, Wyoming in the late 1800s. She did not tell anyone her real name and was known, like most Chinese prostitutes of the time, as China Mary. I discovered her story when I went to Wyoming to research the 1885 massacre of Chinese miners in nearby Rock Springs. That will be my next book in about 10 years' time, but I ended up writing her story first. Even though the story is set in Wyoming, the section I'm going to read to you is set in San Francisco in 1855, at the end of the California Gold Rush. China Mary has just arrived in a brothel. They say, I am a lucky girl. Madam took a liking to me, bought me for a house. She gives me silk dresses and shows me to sit still, my face turned just slightly away. The men like it that way, they say. Here the men are city leaders and merchants, and if they like me, they would take me to their parties and shower me with jewels I can keep. My earnings in lieu of wages. I could be in the cribs, they say, serving any man who stumbles up the alley, smelling of grime and whiskey. Here, I can study English, or practice the piano, or learn to powder my face just white enough to let them see just a hint of the wild beast on my skin. Here, I want to say, no, leave me alone, no, get away from me, no, get your hands off me. But I open my mouth and find the words have hardened in my throat. Men sail across the sea, hustle across the prairie, stumble in the heat of the desert to come to this place where you can gather gold in the rivers. They tell me all this when they come to the city, looking for women to adore. Naked, they talk of their exploits in the mountains, tales of carts and guns, and somehow they are the hero. Their eyes drift away, and I pick their pockets for gold, maybe a watch. Their bodies pulse with rage and heartache as they press on me. Some men just want to talk over dominoes and opium in the parlor. I help them write letters to their wives, asking for children they haven't seen for years, and parents who are ill. They tell me about children born years after they left, children they now consider theirs. What choice do they have? At least they have someone waiting for their return. There is a man who comes to me at the beginning of each month. He does not say much as he kisses the bruises on my arms, digs his callous fingers into the muscles of my back. Maybe he's the one who will buy me out of here. The other day, a letter fell from his pocket. I flipped it under the bed, read it when he was gone. He has a wife and son at home. I'm alone in my bed. The moon casts slivers of light on the ledge. Stars tell stories I cannot yet read. And I'll read you a couple poems from my book, Islanders. And this is on the history of Chinese exclusion at the Angel Island Immigration Station, which basically means it's current affairs. So the Chinese actually wrote poems on the barrack walls. And then there's no records of the poems the woman wrote because the women's barracks burned down in a fire. So I imagine what the women might have said. In a wooden building. So I wait on Angel Island, this island of immortals. The grass is dry and golden, waves scour the headlands, and the sea turns around me. The children, now a year older, a year beyond their father, another year without me. Each day we knit in silence, socks for the children, hats for the parents, and our words swirl in the sea. A brush and a bottle of ink. I took them when he died. He loved to write. What would he say if you and me? I open the bottle, I dip in the brush, I write on the walls. I tell this story of a widow alone in a prison at sea. I tell this story of long nights, wanting my children with me. I imagine him in heaven. I write to forget the tedium, and maybe one day you'll remember me. And I'll do the last one. It's called The Waves. His father died suddenly, leaving a sick wife and 4 young girls. He decided to go to America, stake a claim on Golden Mountain, and come back for me. He wrote to me of Angel Island, where officers scrutinized his papers and doctors made him stand naked as they inspected his eyes. He built a business selling groceries, sent money home, and came back to marry me. I flew up on the sea. He calmed me, made love to me. The first time I cried silently. I had not been with another man, but I knew he had a woman. What could I do? There was no land in sight. San Francisco, the green hills of late spring on the verge of a golden splendor. The city rose from the sea, veiled in a hazy blue. They let him land from the ship, but I had to board a ferry. They didn't even let us say goodbye. There's nothing we can do. Foreign wife of a Chinese merchant, your case is automatically denied. At night I watch the sea. I want its embrace. Cold, dangerous, overwhelming. In these waves, I will finally be home. Thank you.